Decisions on Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus's futures have not reportedly been made yet. So let's talk about this, people. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk. Back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL, here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to talk about a report from Jordan Schultz, NFL reporter for Bleacher Report, who basically came on Speak, Fox Sports show, and he said that no decisions have been made on the future of Justin Fields and head coach Matt Eberflus. The topic was basically, hey, do you expect Fields to be back next season? Now, I know we've talked about this ad nauseum, people, but honestly, get used to it because they ain't going nowhere. Even after the season, we're probably going to talk about it until literally the draft. We're going to talk about it because it is the biggest decision potentially in the history of this franchise. That's how big of a decision this is. I'm talking about the quarterback one, the head coaching one as well, but you get my point. And so let's talk about what Jordan Schultz said. And I quote, he said the following: I don't think a decision has been made. I think it's a week-to-week evaluation, end quote. And he talked about a number of things about how Kevin Warren was not the one who hired Matt Eberflus. And, he's going to go ahead and evaluate things and, kind of take things how they have come. And now we've seen a resurgent Bears team over the last month. And I got to tell you, folks, look, I know there's a lot of clickbaity things out there. I know there's just a lot of BS out there. I 100% believe this. I do not think Ryan Poles has any idea right now on a final decision. I know he has an idea on, kind of how to go about things. But what I'm basically trying to tell you is that I really, truly think Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, they are still evaluating everything. Now, I know Kevin Warren is Ryan Poles' boss, and Ryan Poles hired Matt Eberflus, so he would be the guy to fire him or keep him. But you get my point here. At the top level, I don't think Kevin Warren has made any decision yet. And I believe we are going to see until the end of the season, Eberflus and Fields are going to be given every opportunity here. And I'm telling you, man, that Browns game, if it was flipped and we won that game, that would have done so much for both Eberflus and Fields and their future here in Chicago. But yeah, man, it's still a week-to-week evaluation, and I do truly believe that. And so you're going to see over the next 3 games, hey, can the Bears realistically make some sort of a playoff push? Now, I know that losing to the Browns essentially kind of ended that. We have like a 3% chance here, but hey, can you still finish the season strong? Can Justin Fields still show major improvement over the last 3 games? Can you still see that tangible progress to where you say, hey, this year we took a step ahead, won about 7 games, won 7-10. Next year, add a couple more pieces to this team, and we can be in the playoffs, right? And then after that, it's like the Super Bowl, that incremental progress. That's essentially what you want to see from every team, right? If you're a GM, if you're a team president, that's what you want to see, a team to continually build. Now, everyone would love to have the 0 to 100 last the first jump, but that doesn't usually happen. And usually when it does, it doesn't last. It's not organic. You want to build a team the right way, and that is what I believe Ryan Poles is doing. And so we will see kind of what happens here. But I think it's interesting that, this report is coming out because I feel like a lot of people think that, the decision has already been made, and I don't think it has. I really, truly don't think it has. And honestly, folks, I think this is going to go into the offseason literally up until the draft. I don't think Ryan Poles knows what direction he wants to go, and I think he's going to think long and hard because think about it like this, right? On one hand, you have the opportunity to take a quarterback in Caleb Williams. And by the way, we're assuming we get the number 1 overall pick. The Panthers won last week. Panthers win a couple more games. The Patriots lose, the Bears are not guaranteed to have a number 1 overall pick. I just want to say, but under these circumstances, let's say you have a chance to take Caleb Williams at number 1. You get to reset the QB clock. You get to pick your guy, all of those pros there. But on the other hand, you trade away that number 1 overall pick for another haul, and now you build a proper team with elite weapons, elite offensive and defensive lines, and basically 2 years down the line, if Fields not the guy, you can go ahead or even a year down the line, if Fields not the guy, you can go ahead and replace him and plug and play, right? Again, the Niners, right, with Brock Purdy. Is Brock Purdy doing that when he's on a team with, way lesser weapons. He's not doing that on the Cardinals. Like, I'm sorry, right? So I'm not taking anything away from Brock Purdy, but the NFL is the ultimate team sport. So maybe Ryan Poles wants to build a team first instead of just worrying about the quarterback, because the last thing you want to do is have another quarterback come in here to Chicago and be hailed as a savior and him flame out. Now, I will say one thing to end this, and that's something that I don't feel great about, which is I believe if Justin Fields is back next year, there is a high likelihood that the coaching staff is back, which means Eberflus and Getsy. Now, if we decide to move on from Fields, I think we will have a clean slate with Eberflus gone and Getsy gone and getting new head coach and OC in here. I don't see really a scenario, and I hope I'm wrong about this, where we keep Fields and we hired a new coach and a new coordinator. I think it's a package. And so that's where I'm kind of like, I like Fields, man, but I'm not sold on Eberflus and Getsy. So it's like, can I get rid of them and bring in someone else? But it's like, I don't think that's going to happen. So it's either Fields, Eberflus, Getsy, or Caleb with a new head coach and a new OC. Again, assuming we get the #1 overall pick. So a lot to, sift through for Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren. But yeah, a decision has not been made yet. So let me know what you guys think. Do you believe it or not? Do you think Ryan Poles already knows what he's going to do? Leave a comment down below as always.